It's some rough stuff, but not stuff that they can't get through. It's the kind of stuff that I didn't realize Tumblr quotes like only time can heal, or you have to love yourself before you can love anybody else.
Breakups can be really hard, but it's even harder when you're a public figure and have to tell all your adoring fans about the breakup. And sadly, they might take sides and sometimes can create rumors about the breakup to protect their favorite star, with these fans making it way harder for these stars to move on after the split. Hey, what's up, Iers? It's Mackenzie here, and today on the channel I'm going to be filling you in on the top 10 YouTubers that broke up in front of millions of fans. And I'm not even gonna lie to you, some of these stars breaking up made me really second guess literally everything I knew about relationships, because for most of these, their relationship seemed like essentially perfect, and then just like that, it's done. I don't know, hope I'm not alone in that. But before I get into it, make sure to subscribe below if you're new here and never want to miss one of our juicy uploads just like this one. And without further ado, let's get into that list. In at number 10, Liza Koshy and David Dobrik. David Dobrik and Liza Koshy broke the internet when they announced their split on David's channel on June 4th of 2018. And the video was so explosive in the community that it trended almost immediately, with the video currently having over 65 million views. And I think it's probably the most viewed video on David's channel. In the video, they spoke about how they had broken up months prior, but were finally ready to address it publicly. Then we got more insight into the reason for the breakup, with Liza admitting she was the one that broke up with David, with Liza adding that she had some stuff to work out in her own life and needed some time to heal her own issues, as well as both of them admitting that they were starting to live two separate lives and didn't find enough time for each other anymore. Then Liza spoke more about the breakup on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, saying she waited 6 months to make the video because she wanted time to heal and become friends again before telling the world. Then Colbert added their friendship is a terrible idea. But considering it doesn't look like David and Liza really interact much anymore, maybe they did need to stop speaking in order to really, move on and grow. Up at number 9, Tana Mongeau and Jake Paul. This one isn't a shock at all, because this whirlwind romance then breakup took place not too long ago. When Jake and Tana first got together, then quickly engaged, everyone was pretty confident it was just a publicity stunt. And that was basically confirmed when Jake and Tana held their wedding of holy cloutrimony back in July of 2019, with the wedding being an outrageous Vegas ceremony that took place at the Graffiti Mansion that was spray painted with Jana, as well as hashtags and the pair's Instagram handles. And even though Tana did the most to convince her fans the whole thing was based on legit feelings, that went out the window when the whole thing was filmed for Tana's MTV show, as well as having the option to live stream the wedding for $50. But only 6 months after the over-the-top wedding, they announced their divorce and matching Instagram posts. And after everyone got mad at them for both faking the whole thing, Tana came out in a video to expose her feelings were actually reals, but Jake's probably weren't. Especially because he hopped into a new relationship with someone else pretty much right after. In at number 8, Jeffree Star and Nathan Schwandt. Jeffree and Nate were a massive YouTube couple, especially because Jeffree made Nate the subject of a lot of his YouTube videos in the past. But even though they seemed incredibly happy throughout their whole relationship, after 5 years together, they shockingly broke up in January of 2020. Then after a lot of speculation, Jeffree confirmed the breakup in a video called We Broke Up, where he doesn't reveal many details but speaks about how he's been going through it and how they will always have love for each other, but there was other things going on in their own lives that caused them to distance from each other. But then a few months later, Jeffree addressed it more in a video called Updated House Tour Being Single and Quarantined, where the tune was a little different, saying that there's dark and nasty stuff going on behind the scenes in regards to the breakup. And we haven't really heard much on them since, but it seems like they're both moving on and there really isn't much drama anymore, at least publicly. Up at number 7, Alyssa Violet and Jake Paul. This was probably one of the messiest YouTube breakups just because of how different things were behind the scenes compared to what viewers saw on screen. Everything started when Jake kicked Alyssa out of the Team 10 house, and Alyssa put it on her Snapchat story. Then they started both throwing cheating accusations at each other on Twitter, with most fans initially taking Jake's side. Then Alyssa defended herself, saying that he was the one that actually cheated on her almost every night. Then the rap battle started, with Jake making his It's Everyday Bro track, which took many digs at Alyssa. Then she made her own diss track with Rice Scum called It's Everyday Sis, where she admitted to kissing Logan. The whole thing was set straight when Alyssa uploaded a video called What You've Been Waiting For, where she tells her truth, saying she did cheat on Jake with Logan, but she didn't feel it was cheating as they were never actually together, and Jake just used her for the videos, Well, he hooked up with girls constantly in their own bed. Up at number 6, Shane Dawson and Lisa Schwartz. Shane and Lisa were basically an OG YouTube couple, with them dating for about 4 years before breaking up in 2014. The breakup seemed very amicable and they seemed to stay friends after. Then Shane came out as bisexual in a video only a little while later in 2015, posting a video to his channel. And a lot of people speculated that this might have been the reason for the breakup. But Lisa actually shut that down, with Lisa posting a video to her own channel supporting Shane, saying in the video, quote, "I feel a lot of joy for Shane. For years I watched him suffer. For years I hurt for him. I didn't know why he was suffering. Sometimes I thought it was me. Sometimes work, his family, his body image." And it's just really beautiful to see how supportive she was of him back then. And the pair have stayed really good friends ever since, with them appearing in videos together and seemingly speaking pretty often. Halfway through number 5, Jesse Wellens and Gianna Smith. This was another breakup that rocked the world, because the couple had been together for many years and daily vlogged for the last few years of their relationship. But the vlogging was actually a big part of the reason that the two ended up splitting. The pair ended up breaking up after 10 years of being together. They labeled their breakup as a break in their initial 2016 video, but since they have not gotten back together, it can be assumed that they're obviously done for good. And in the video, Jesse revealed how daily vlogging had taken a huge toll on the relationship, saying that he doesn't recommend any YouTube couple to vlog, or it could be disastrous. In at number 4, Lauren Ramaki and Alex Wasabi. Lauren Ramaki, aka Lord DIY, and Alex Wasabi were another couple that shocked the internet when they announced their split after 3 years of being together back in 2018. The pair announced it in a YouTube video uploaded to Lauren's YouTube channel. In the video, they speak on a range of topics, with Lauren saying, quote, "Basically, we just feel like we both need specific things, and we're not fully on the same page, and we need to take time apart. So for us to come back better and stronger, we have to take time and focus on ourselves." Then saying in that video they were taking a break and unsure if they would get back together or not, with both of them saying that it was the best 3 years of their lives, and that there was no cheating or anything malicious that caused the break. And after they both took breaks from the platform, it was confirmed that they were not getting back together when Lauren got in another relationship only a few months later. And I'm sorry, I'm happy for her, but like, still a little salty about it. In at number 3, Jaclyn Hill and John Hill. Massive beauty guru Jaclyn Hill shocked the internet when she announced that she was getting divorced from her husband, John Hill, in 2018 after 9 years together. In a video Jaclyn posted talking about the breakup, she said, quote, "I will always love John, but John and I have never made good partners. We've always made good friends." Continuing, "John and I have had our problems our entire marriage, but we have always worked to be bigger than our problems, and it just got to the point where it was exhausting. I was blood dry. There was nothing left to give." Then things were shaken up after Jaclyn announced her new beau months later, and it was discovered that the new guy and John were actually friends at one point. But Jaclyn shut down rumors of shadiness or cheating, then insinuating that John actually cheated on Jaclyn. And after a lot of back and forth, John came out on his own Instagram stating he was not a cheater. But all their drama didn't end there, with Trisha Paytas later getting involved in December of 2019 after she posted photos of her and John kissing. And while the internet was completely losing it, she kept her cool by tweeting about corn dip. And honestly, we love to see it. In at number 2, Alyssa Violet and FaZe Banks. If you remember this one, it was an utter disaster. Basically, after years of dating, this couple that everyone was rooting for broke up. And when it happened, it seemed very amicable and like nothing shady had really gone down. Until one day when Alyssa quote tweeted someone asking how they found out they were being cheated on. And she replied, quote, "I was asleep upstairs with our dogs and he wasn't next to me. So I checked our guest house and caught him naked in bed with a random girl." And after Twitter was set ablaze by this, she was not done, and showed screenshots of text convos where he admits to cheating. Then she laid out a number of other times that he cheated, just to ensure there was no possible way he was gonna get out of that. But the craziest thing about all of this is that it's very heavily rumored that the two of them are actually back together, as there's been some proof that she has been at the new FaZe house in Banks' bed. So I guess we'll see on that one. And finally at number 1, Anthony Padilla and Kalel Kitten. This is one you OG YouTube watchers will definitely remember, because before the drama was actually like disturbing on YouTube, this was the kind of stuff that was breaking the internet. This one was pretty juicy though, because they actually broke off their engagement before getting married. Way back in 2014 when the split happened, she blamed it on growing apart. But of course, with tons of other ones on this list, there was breakup after the fact as well. It started when Anthony made a Draw My Life video where he spoke of one of his exes, and even though he didn't name the name, everyone knew it was about Kalel, saying, quote, "I was in a manipulative relationship with someone at the time. I now feel she was using me. I was so walked over that I would seek approval from her for every aspect aspect of my life, he said. Then continuing, it caused me to lose who I really was. My confidence was at an all-time low. Like all toxic relationships go, I didn't realize how bad it really was until months after we broke up. So of course, after all those digs, Kal-El had to defend herself, saying in a thread of tweets that she's sad he would stick his fans on her and that she was never a gold digger, saying that she was not the perfect girlfriend and her OCD made things hard, but he knew exactly what he was getting himself into. So clearly, it was not on good terms after all. Okay everyone, that's all for this list. Let me know whose breakup shocked you the most, or if there was any that I missed that could be in a part 2. Most shockingly for me was probably Alyssa and Banks, because they seemed just so perfect for each other, but now that they might be getting back together, I mean, maybe they were meant for each other after all. But before I go, I'm gonna shout out some comments from my worst beauty guru apology video. Jessica Weir said, me sitting back eating popcorn watching their terribly scripted apologies to save face. Honestly, like I hate that I love it, but like, you know, we just love how messy it is. So entertaining. Then Alexia said, I remember thinking what the F Jeffree was doing during the Tati versus James Charles drama. He butted in when no one asked him to. Now it's all clear. Yeah, sadly we now know how messed up it all was, but I'm also patiently waiting for either Jeffree or Shane to like address something or say something about everything that's been going on. It seems like they're taking the silence route. Maybe that's a good strategy, I don't really know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Then Threshold said, Laura Lee's was the first apology recorded in ultrasound. I couldn't hear a thing, but my dog had a blast, whatever she said. Okay, so at first, I did not really like get it, and then I died laughing. Oh my god, it really was though. Like the whole video she was in like such a high octave. Like, is that supposed to make people sympathize with you? Like, I don't really get it, but you know, this comment was everything. Thank you for that. Okay everyone, that's all for me today. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way here, I really appreciate it. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram to be kept up to date with all the news and tea you'll ever need to know. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.